You know, sometimes you come up to stories and you are just so conflicted about them. This is one of those times. Hey everyone, this is Kevin, your Apptrepreneur, and it's been a few days actually. Now that I think about it, it's been almost a whole week since I uploaded anything, and when I come back, of course, I'm talking about rideshare. I can just see the comments now. Oh, look, Apptrepreneur's talking about rideshare again. Well, I am and I'm not. This is certainly rideshare related, and yes, if you're watching this channel and you are in rideshare, you probably very much will be affected by this, but it's also a very conflicting situation. See, here's the thing. I care about a few things in life, quite a few things, but there are two things I am pretty passionate about. First of all, I am passionate about victims of SA and bad things happening to them having their voices heard, and, you know, being able to find legal justice in the world. I also care about people's rights to be heard if they are accused, that they have their day in court. I am very much in favor of that as well. My whole thing is like, hey, let the guilty perish and let the innocent go free. I also believe in the free market, and I'm also very concerned about duopolies, monopolies, oligopolies. I'm sorry, my stutter's getting, you know what I'm talking about. So, you know, I'm concerned about the reach business has, and when are they overstepping their bounds for quote-unquote the greater good, because doing something for the greater good can ultimately be abused. And so you see a story like this, and you really look at it, and you just go like, wow. So many thoughts. So many thoughts. So, the headline from ZDNet by Charlie Osborne says, Uber, Lyft to share data on drivers banned for these things. And you can see what they are right there. For those of you who are listening to this as like a podcast, I'm sorry, but you know, this is going up on YouTube first, so we can't actually say what it is we want to say. But you look at that headline, and I saw that, and I was like, man, I mean, look, I totally understand. That sounds like a really good thing, but this can be abused in so many ways. So let's look at this. Uber and Lyft will share information on drivers that have been banned from their platform for reasons including these two listed things, SA and PA. And that first sentence is already like a hair-tingling spider sense thing going off, if you will, where it's like, for reasons including these. So Uber and Lyft might, in theory, be sharing information about why drivers are suspended for whatever reasons. But let's continue. I might be getting ahead of myself. So, the information sharing safety program announced on Thursday will be managed by workforce solutions provider HireRight, which that's a good thing, by the way. It shows that there is a third party involved and that the two companies might not necessarily be colluding with one another. If drivers are banned from working on one of the firm's platforms for, quote, serious safety incidents at present, they could theoretically move on to the other and resume work either as passenger transport or for delivery services. This is true, by the way. However, the new U.S. program may stop these transitions from going under the radar. According to Tony West, Senior VP and Chief Legal Officer at Uber, safety should never be proprietary, which I actually agree with. Tackling these tough safety issues is bigger than any one of us, and this new industry sharing safety program demonstrates the value of working collaboratively with experts, advocates, and others to make a meaningful difference, West commented. The platform will allow both Uber and Lyft to exchange data on drivers deactivated for SA misconduct, and I don't know if I can say that, but the acronym is PAF. HireRight will collect and manage driver data. So that's actually not terrible. Uber and Lyft say the platform will, quote, incorporate learnings from anti-SVA over the past several years and prioritize safety, privacy, and fairness for both drivers and survivors. The program will be open to similar transport and delivery companies in the United States. In other Uber news, and Friday, UK court ruled that Uber drivers in the UK could not be considered self-employed. Yeah, that's going to be a fun one. So anyway, my thoughts on this. Look, on the surface, And of course, knowing that this what was it again? Higher right, that they are involved. That's the good thing, because you know what? Uber and Lyft has far too long not taken these problems seriously on either side, whether it be the drivers or the riders. Interestingly, the riders are not being mentioned in this, and I'm going to comment on that. But it's nice to see Uber and Lyft actually finally holding drivers accountable to a certain extent. I mean, they're still not going to help you sue the guy. They're not going to help the police track him down. They're not going to help put a driver who puts a rider in a very bad situation in jail. They will not do any of this. However, by sharing this data, they will essentially prevent people from going on to the other platform and doing this again. So positives, right? Here's the not positives. Like, what if you are wrongly accused of doing this and you're deactivated as a result? Well, that information now goes to higher right, and they don't see that you're objecting to the accusation. They're not looking at evidence that might clear your name potentially. They are just getting information that you have been deactivated because you supposedly did this. And as a result, now you are banned from going to the other platform. And, well, that's the other problem. There's only 2 rideshare platforms right now. Really, there are only 2. There's a couple little mini ones like Hop, Skip, Drive and things like that. I'm aware that some of them exist, but really Uber and Lyft are the big ones. And they have basically come together to ban a certain type of driver. Now, again, if you are guilty, I frankly don't care. You shouldn't be doing this. You should probably be in jail. Uber and Lyft should probably be doing more to do something about you. But this is what they're going to do. But where this gets tricky is we have heard story after story of people who are accused of something. They have video evidence to back up that they did not do what they're doing. But will higher right necessarily care about this? They probably won't. In fact, if anything, this just creates a huge problem where, people will now effectively find themselves blackballed from the gig economy industry. Now, what happens if DoorDash decides to get on this too? Because keep in mind, Uber owns Postmates and Uber Eats as well. So if you're accused of something on Lyft, that shuts off 3 apps for you. What if DoorDash decides to do this? Well, then you can't do Caviar or DoorDash either. Oh, that's right. And Uber also bought Drizzly recently. Basically, we've got 2 companies, maybe kind of 3, that are owning the entire industry. They all get on this program. It's all done to look good, but I suspect the program will be fatally flawed, because if you get deactivated for a reason, I don't think it's going to be taken into account whether or not you say that's a false accusation or whether or not you provide evidence. Once you are deactivated, it's going to go to this company and they are going to prevent you from getting on any of these systems. At that point, I don't even know who has more power at that point. Is it Uber? Is it Lyft? Is it higher right? Like that's a big concern of mine. And the other thing is, if they have this information, my question is, are Uber and Lyft now going to actually help the police in getting people that have done these things allegedly? Because you know what? I don't even think they're actually helping with the solution, really. If they hear a complaint that someone did something to a passenger that should not have happened, you know what? Yes, getting them off the platform is step number 1. But Uber and Lyft never seem to care about step number 2, which is cooperating with the police, which is helping put these people behind jail, which is helping find out if these accusations are even meritable, like if they have merit, and maybe there's like a mistake here or someone just wants a free ride. Uber and Lyft have no consideration about that at all. So this is going to create some huge problems, because they either have information of someone who has potentially done something bad and they're basically not helping to make that person accountable, or that person was wrongly accused of something and Uber and Lyft are basically penalizing them, kicking them out of an industry for something they did not do. You see where this gets really messy really fast. Now, here's the interesting thing. It's interesting that this is only for the drivers, not the passengers. And make no mistake, Uber and Lyft drivers complain about passengers all the time. Heck, there was that video very recently, it wasn't even a week ago, where that went viral, and I'm not going to show it, but it showed a driver basically being abused by 3 passengers. They were taking off their masks, purposefully coughing on him, taking his cell phone, calling him a bunch of names. What are you going to do? Whole thing's caught on camera. And Uber of course, it was Uber or it was Lyft. I forgot which one it was. Of course, they said they banned those accounts. But is that information going to be shared with the other companies to say, hey, you know what? You can't have customers that abuse your workers either. Are they going to do anything to, take down riders who might take... This is what stuttering looks like. It's a lifelong struggle. Anyway, are they going to take the steps to hold riders who overstep their bounds accountable? They probably won't, because they don't care. As long as the riders are paying for the rides, Uber and Lyft do not care. In fact, most of the time, you don't even hear that they have been deactivated from the platform. Most of the time, you'll hear, we are not going to pair that passenger up with the rider ever again. So, yeah. Anyway, this is a very interesting story. Again, it's a nice first step. I do believe that if you are a driver and you do something horrible with a passenger, and it's true, then yes, you should not be driving for these platforms. Heck, I believe you should probably be going to jail and facing some consequences too. But that's where it starts getting a little dicey. Uber and Lyft seem to have no interest in actually helping bring justice to the world, just reducing their liability. And then you take the step further. What if that person is falsely accused? Will they still have their day in court to prove that they have been falsely accused, and thus get to keep their really sucky job that they should honestly move on from at this point? I don't know. That's where it starts getting dicey, but I would like to know, what do you think about this? Any of this. Do you think this is the right thing for Uber and Lyft to be doing? Do you think they're wrong in doing this? Or do you think, yes, but with some improvements? Or no, but I can see where this could be a good thing if improvements are made? I'd love to know. Comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.